So we play Crystal Palace twice in the next 4 days, and joining us now to preview those two games are Crystal Palace fan Ollie Thomas. Hi, Ollie.
Hi guys, how's it going?
So, Ollie, which
good?
game would you most like to win, the League Cup or the Premier League game?
Well, it's got to be the League Cup, I think. Like, considering we've never won a major trophy, obviously there are 38 league games in a season, whereas the League Cup and FA Cup is the only shot we have at winning a trophy every year. And I think we've got a bit of League Cup fever, which is quite rare. So I'm enjoying that right now. So I would go for that one. We've got some good momentum in the league, so it'd be nice to carry that on. But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be the League Cup, I think.
Okay, nicely put. So what can we expect from Palace on Wednesday then?
I think, well, a team full of confidence and that's kind of found some rhythm. We started the season quite badly. Bit of disjointed pre-season. We're missing some key players at the start of the year, and everything was kind of gelling not very well. Whereas now we've found some momentum. I think we've only lost one of our last 9, and I think we'll attack Arsenal as well. I know like a lot of teams have come to the Emirates and really sat in and made life difficult, which probably is better for Arsenal if we're more aggressive. But I think we'll put out a full strength team and we'll go for the win. That's one of the good things about our manager is that rather than putting out second string teams in cup competitions when realistically all we're going to probably achieve is mid-table in the Premier League, we're attacking the cups and going there to win. I think you'll see a team that's willing to take the game to Arsenal rather than kind of being overly negative or treating it as a formality and putting out a second string team. It will be a competitive game, I think.
So, Perry, what kind of team do you think we're going to be putting out?
I was hoping that we wouldn't see Saka. I hope we wouldn't see Gabriel. I hope we won't see Odegaard. But the rumour is that we're going to go pretty strong because I think Arteta wants to win the League Cup. And I was just going to ask Ollie, we know you're going to go 3-4-2-1. Everybody knows that's how you play. Your run started in the League Cup against Aston Villa away when you beat them 2-1. I was actually in the league game when you drew 2-2. And I thought you was outstanding. And it surprised me the aggression that you played with, because especially from even the 3 centre-halves, all the way through the team, from Lacroix into Will Hughes to Mateta up front, you actually got about Aston Villa. And you said there, I think you're going to go for it. I think you're going to make it physical.
Yeah, definitely. That was basically what was missing at the start of the season. It wasn't necessarily a personnel thing. We had a lot of the same players playing that we do now, but it was also just a mindset. We weren't being as aggressive as we had been last season as well. That's what really was the kind of bedrock of our form at the end of last season. And this one is just being super aggressive. And I think that comes from the back 3. I think we've now got 3 aggressive and mobile defenders in Chalobah, Lacroix and Guéhi. And because we feel kind of comfortable pushing up with them, the rest of the team feels empowered to push up too.
Yeah, I think Lacroix has also been the one that's really stepped on the last couple of months. I think he may have got your Player of the Month 2 months in a row, I believe. And I had a good look at him against Brighton. I thought, oh dear, he looks quite good. And all of a sudden, Palace have found their full flow, found their confidence, and you look really quick. I mean, how did you enjoy that game against Brighton yesterday, Ollie?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, that was my 4th time going to the Amex, and I hadn't seen us win yet. So it was really nice, very satisfying. I think, it's kind of similar to what I was saying about the Arsenal game. It wasn't just the fact we won and quite convincingly. It was the fact that we took the game to Brighton and we didn't sit in, we didn't try and, just defend deep and hit them on the break. We were pressing high, as were they. And yeah, Lacroix he's been absolutely brilliant. I think when we lost Anderson to Fulham, there were quite a few eyebrows raised by neutrals, kind of going, that seemed a bit weird. I think some people thought he was better than Guéhi. He was very important to us last year. But Lacroix has just been an absolute revelation. You mentioned his pace there. I've never seen a defender have that kind of recovery pace. And for Palace anyway, you think of the quick centre-backs in the league and the ones that are so physically dominant. I've seen some Palace fans say he's like a slightly worse version of Saliba in the fact that you just back him in any duel to win the ball against centre-back. And a lot of the times now, wingers and strikers are actually shirking the duel. They're just not even bothering, basically, to go in with him, which to have a defender with that kind of dominance is a real novelty for us, and I'm very much enjoying it.
Ollie, with 4 Arsenal fans sitting here, how big is this game for us on Wednesday?
Yeah, well, you mentioned then about how you think Arsenal will be strong. I agree. I don't necessarily think it's fair, but obviously a lot of people say Arteta needs to win something. In my opinion, winning the League Cup doesn't actually mean anything really. In terms of, I'd say coming second or third or obviously winning the Prem is way more impressive than winning the League Cup. But I think in terms of just kind of getting that monkey off Arteta's back and showing that he can win silverware is really important. But equally, you know what rival fans can be like. I'm sure that if Arsenal do win the League Cup, it won't count into Mickey Mouse Cup, etc. But yeah, I'd be really surprised if Arsenal didn't go pretty strong because, it's just winning these games and knocking teams out like Palace. It may seem like a formality for a lot of big teams, but if you lose them, then all of a sudden pressure's on. And I think, that silverware thing is a big deal for Arteta. So I'm anticipating 2 full-strength teams. It should be a good game as well. I think it'd be good to watch both teams up for it, and important for both teams to get through to the semi-final.
Rival fans? What are rival fans? We love rival fans. So Art, the same question to you then. What do you think?
Yeah, I think when you're looking at Arteta's time at Arsenal, the really big thing that kicked it off was that FA Cup win in 2020. I think it really gave him a lot of credit in the bank, and a month later his role changed from head coach to manager. So I think when you're looking at now, when you're wanting to kick on, maybe we talk about the new year, what that can bring, you can maybe get a bit more momentum in those spring months if you do put in a run in the Carabao Cup, maybe lift silverware as well at Wembley. I think it could be a really good, incentivizer for them, especially if in the Champions League they're looking probable to get the top 8 spots. So they may not have extra fixtures in that competition. So this could, keep players honest in a way, which I think is a really good, as I said, incentive for those guys to really attack not just Crystal Palace, but even the FA Cup games that come up in January as well.
And then Clive, 5:30 Saturday, under the lights at Selhurst Park. Well, how are we going to do? How's it going to go?
Well, this is it, right? So to play a team twice in 4 days, it's not normal, shall we say. And so how the manager approaches individual games will be interesting. But what I will say is I've seen them play a back 3 team against Sporting. I thought we looked really good there. Against Manchester United, I thought we dominated them as well, another back 3 team. And Palace, against a system that we know what to do. We put our wingers on the outside, their centre-backs, and say to you, come back here into a 5, let's see if we can play from here. We'll dominate those areas. I think Palace are quicker and more aggressive to go forward. So that'll be something we have to watch for. But yeah, to do the 2 games, and let's be honest, right? This is a big week for Arsenal, and we're playing the same 2 wins. Happy Christmas, right? So 2 defeats. No one's getting no presents in my house.
The other thing what Ollie said there, obviously, about the League Cup, you know what the narrative would be for Arsenal fans. If we go out of the League Cup, it would be, all right, it was only the League Cup. Now we can concentrate on the Premier League and the Champions League. If you win the League Cup in February, then that gives you that momentum. Exactly, I'm old school, it's a massive trophy. But I just want to ask Ollie about Will Hughes, because obviously I want more ginger representation in different teams. And I think that he gives you, in that centre midfield area, now whether he's playing with Decore or it's Lerma, he plays in black boots, which I love as well, so it's a bit of a throwback. But he gives you the balance of the left footer, but he's very aggressive, and his passing is very underestimated, because you have to go into whoever's playing in the 210s, you have to go into Mateta, and I think he gives you that structure and that bit of creativity.
Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant. And he was brilliant last year, or last season, alongside Wharton. Obviously, Wharton got a lot of the credit, rightly so. He was fantastic. But Hughes was just as impressive for the last few months of the year. And I think, obviously, he started at Derby as a more creative central midfielder, playing a bit further forward than he does now. But he's added that aggression, as you said, to his game. And he's a really strong tackler now as well. And he can just do everything. He's such a bedrock for the team. The passing, you said, is really good. His performance against Man City was one of the best midfield performances I've ever seen a Palace player put in. Like, he's just so consistent, and we really miss him when he doesn't play. And I think we've had no Wharton for a month or 2 now, and we've honestly not missed him that much, because Hughes can offer so much in that role. And I think from an outside perspective, he's very, very underrated. We signed him for like £8 million, I think, a few years ago, and he's played a lot of games for us and been, asked to do a lot of different roles and done them all very well. So he's becoming a real cult hero at Palace. I think he's a likable player to watch.
And then Ollie, lastly, how are you feeling for Saturday's game?
I mean, Palace at home, I always feel relatively confident under the lights. I think a lot of it will depend on how the midweek game goes. I think, if we win, the atmosphere will be good, but equally Arsenal, I'm sure, will be really up for it. Whereas if Arsenal go and batter us on Wednesday, maybe there'll be a bit of complacency. I did see someone say, like, it's good playing the same team in the league and the cup in the same week, because just like the laws of football, Palace will surely win one of those games. You can't lose twice, is what I'm hoping anyway. But no, it'll be good. It'll be a really good atmosphere. I think, after beating Brighton, the vibes are always going to be high. So I think we'll be well up for it. There's a bit of a thing, isn't it? Sell us under the lights, and Palace fans know that too. So yeah, it should be a good one.
It's James Bond film, isn't it? You can't only lose twice. Is it? Is it James Bond film somewhere in there? Just throw a little reference in.
maybe not. Who knows? I don't. So thank you so much, Ollie. I want to say good luck, but it's really hard to say good luck for the next 2 games. So kind of good luck.
Ish, yeah.
Ish. Good luck.
We hope you get hammered. We don't wish you good luck at all. But have a nice Christmas, though.
Have a nice Christmas. Have a nice Christmas. So then, guys, just quickly, what is more important, the 3 points on Saturday or progress to the semi-finals on Wednesday?
3 points Saturday.
Yeah. Is that the
3 points,
consensus?
yeah.
3 points.
Yeah,
3
absolutely.
points. It's really important. We've dropped too many recently, so we got to make it on Saturday. Got to.
Yeah. How do you think it's going to go, personally?
Well, Ollie's right. Crystal Palace, Brentford away. Oh, funny that. We've got them coming up. So yeah, these are the challenging games for London clubs, right? They enjoy Arsenal coming to these grounds. They enjoy it. They look forward to it. We're a scalp to them. So we have to be ultra aggressive in our duels, make sure that we dominate them, which we have a team to do that. But I'm not going to sit here and say to you that I enjoy going to those grounds, because I don't. I think they're really challenging.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. I think as a player, going to Selhurst Park, when they've got their ultras going and that ground is buzzing, that's where you want to go and play. And they will fancy their chances. They will commit players forward, especially Mitchell on the right-hand side, Munoz on the left-hand side, Munoz on the right. They will commit their wingers, their wide players forward, so that gives us a bit more space to play in, and it will be physical. So I must admit, I'd rather play them away from home in the league than what we'll do at home, because I think they've got more of a chance.
Yeah, the one thing about Selhurst Park, the GTEC Brentford as well, I think in the last couple of seasons, Arsenal have actually done really well to quiet the crowd in those games. So early on, rather than feeding into the emotion, they'll just keep the ball for about 5-10 minutes, if they can. And it'll just shut the place up. And I think that's when they can start then playing their football and being a bit more confident in what they're doing, rather than going gung-ho straight away and then the home crowd all up for it anyway. I think being actually a bit more smart about the way you go about things helps them a lot in these games.